This is my first time DMing like ever. So any tips and tricks and what do you call it? Like help along the way is very much appreciated. Advice, etc.
We'll be gentle.
Yay! So, you have all been traveling with Coriander's caravan for about a month now, aiding those in and around the Scorch Grove and anyone else experiencing trouble related to the fires. Coriander had started the caravan about 2 months ago when she felt that the Tenders, which are a group of druidic folk who dedicate themselves to healing the Scorch Grove, weren't doing enough for the folk impacted by the flames. Especially at first, you would have noticed distrust between the humble and bird folk and her as she entered the towns, being a Vulpin and new to the area. But as the month has gone by, news of her help has circulated, and folk are becoming increasingly more trusting. She has picked up or hired you from various places to help protect the caravan as bandit activity has grown. And at this point, let's introduce your 4 characters. Starting with Sam.
So I'm playing Mabel Yarrow Brooke. Mabel Yarrow Brooke. She is a cleric from the Grove, and she was kind of raised by like a family that was the whole village. So she had a lot of aunties and uncles to help support her, and she did a lot of training to be good defense in order to join the town guard, but also to develop her skills for when the inevitable time came where she had to go out and spread the good word of her god and be independent. That way she wouldn't have her life taken from her. And since the grove has kind of been scorched, apparently, she's joined the caravan to see if she can give assistance wherever she can.
Next, Matt.
So I am playing a Corvum named Volker, who is a former merchant. His family owned a jewel gem sort of shop, I guess. And he is an apprentice wizard. His reasonings will probably become clear at some point, but he owns a cart and a donkey named Montgomery. I just cuz. And he is also helping along with the caravan with his cart. Basically, he's a kind-hearted person who just kind of at this point feels very bad for the people that have suffered from the Scorch Grove and wants to do what he can to assist. His wizard master sort of one of his teachings was basically that those people that are able to assist should. So that's kind of what he's taken to heart.
Very nice. Shane.
All right, I will be playing a Strig by the name of Taunok. He's a big individual who has been picked up as both a guard for the caravan as well as being a talented smith who strangely spends most of his days upon the forest floor amongst a Gerbine community normally. While he has appeared reluctant to join this caravan, he has lended his aid and actually joined alongside one of the Gerbine who is now with the caravan, who is... Gotta find his name now.
Endo, I believe.
Yep.
Yes, Endo. So, joined at the same time. Like I said, just very surly, bit odd individual. Pretty quick to take any sort of questions and just be grumpy and deflect them away, but has stuck with the group pretty reliably despite his outward appearances of very much not wanting to be there.
And Rob.
Yes, I shall be playing Ivo, who is a Marin Raptor. Generally, he's always lived around Ash Barrow. Unfortunately, not always on the correct side of the law. But in recent years, he's plied his trade to more protecting caravans rather than trying to pilfer them. That's where he's signed on to this one currently, because he's trying to make sure the people of the area get as much aid as they can on his, shall we say, path to redemption.
Very nice. And so the three others that are part of the caravan are Coriander herself. She is at 4'5". She's pretty short for a Vulpin. Her fur is straw colored, the tip of her tail ending in black. And while she does have black fur around her eyes, she accents that further with some black makeup. Her muzzle is very slender, her nose black, and her ears are also very large. While trustworthy and eager to help, you've all noticed that she does have something that she's not telling you. The other one is Penny Figs. She's a 4-foot older hedge. Her face is a creamy color and quills dark, and her muzzle is quite pointed with some dark fur at the end. She's always wearing colorful, flowing clothes that have tears from her quills. She's always kind and considerate, and always seems to be stronger than she looks. And then finally, there is Endomocker, who joined with Taunok. He's a young Gerbine at 2 foot in height. His fur is tan-colored, and ears seem to be too large for his head. His eyes are dark, and he's got these little quivering whiskers that are always looking for fun. He learned sleight of hand from Coriander and is surprisingly good at it, so he's always got a deck of cards that he's playing around with. You've seen him occasionally wear wings on his back that he's made from leaves, as it's his dream to fly, although obviously that's unlikely to happen at this point. So, as you the 7 of you are traveling down the road to get to Harvester being a village at the fringes of the grove, west of the Ashborough, where Evo is from, or Ivo. So it is about here. So you've come kind of down from Meadowfen, where you got restocked, and now have headed up north to get to Harvester. So let us start with anything you want to discuss or anything you want to chat about as you make your way across this road.
Didn't mention it, but I think that Volker and Ivo had known each other a little bit. They wouldn't have been friends, but they would have been acquaintances prior to this, because Ivo would have probably sold some of his stolen goods to Volker's shop.
Yeah, probably wouldn't be completely up on what we used to do together. It probably wouldn't be looked upon very well.
Yeah. So yeah, not something that the characters would necessarily know, but something that the players might know.
So is this the first time the rest of you have been in this area?
It'd be first time
If
for
I
me.
is the first time I've left the grove.
first and last, as far as I'm concerned.
It's not too bad if you get used to the smell closer to the grove, but as long as you keep an eye out, it should be safe enough.
How big is Maybell compared to the bird people?
I'm 5'11".
Okay. Because I think that the Corvums are bigger because he's 5'4", which I vaguely remember being somewhat large. Not
Yeah.
large, but like big for Corvums.
Taunok is almost as big as Strigs are supposed to be, and he's only 5'5". And Strigs are supposed to be like one of the biggest of the bird folk. So
I'm only 3'6". I'm the little boy.
Well, I'm the weak boy. I'm the little boy. I'm the one with 6 hit points.
Let me just toss in Coriander so you all have a visual of her. Here is Penny and Endo. Yeah, and Penny would have chimed in as well to that conversation and been like, "Well, it's very nice actually. The soil here is quite fertile and makes for some nice farmland. Actually, we should be coming up on some farms rather shortly. I mean, it makes sense the name Harvester."
Generally, the fire and ash does help with the growth in some ways, so it is understandable.
at the very least, I suppose you wouldn't have to worry about any more spreading fires at this point.
I certainly hope
with
not.
tender care, we can bring the land back.
Do you know anything about farming, Maybell?
Personally, no, but once you've lived in the area long enough, you overhear the conversations of farmers and merchants, and you start being able to put two and two together.
Volker just looks kind of impressed. He doesn't know anything about farming.
And as you're all walking and talking, everybody make a perception check.
First roll of the campaign.
Yay!
Bunch of perceptive birds, except for, well, I guess no, the one of the birds is not perceptive, but yeah.
Too busy thinking about the farmland.
And I'm gonna pull you all onto a map to try combat for the first time.
Ooh.
It's a cute map though.
Yeah.
It is.
Thank you.
I like the art style. It fits.
Yeah. Okay, so y'all can move yourself a bit here and there wherever you think you would be.
Can I go? How far back can I go?
Oh,
Can I stand 30 feet away from everyone?
yeah, just go back there. You can go behind.
Yeah. Which way are we going? Are we going? I assume we're going to the west here, right?
Yes, to the west.
Okay. Who's
Town
the
up.
biggest thing I can hide behind again?
Probably the cart.
I'll be right
Or
there.
Maybell.
Yeah, or Maybell.
Right behind Bambi.
Taunok would be hanging out around Endo at the very least. Pretty, surly engaged in conversation, but bouncing off any, continuing to engage despite pretty obvious irritation with it.
Yep. Endo would not be paying attention to his surroundings at all. He would just be
Okay.
chattering away. And with those perception checks, you do notice you hear several bandits who seem to be waiting to attack.
Halt! There's danger ahead.
Taunok would just step forward and usher Endo behind him a little bit and get ruffled up a bit, look a bit bigger, and glower around with his one eye.
Good perception for one eye.
Yeah.
You lack depth perception, but you were.
Good thing I stay within 5 feet.
Mabel will take out her crossbow.
And as with that, let me do this thing. Hey.
Yeah. Volker's not too excited about this.
I mean, to be fair, none of us would be. Because we're clearly all upstanding citizens. Who would want to be around bandits?
Don't make me cast dancing lights at you. My level 1.
Well, that would clearly impair my sneaking ability. Please don't.
Whoops. There. Sweet. And I have battle music, although I only have 4, so let's see what happens. Oops. There. Yep. And maybe start.
That's right. Okay. Let's see. I got 35 feet here. I would like to shoot at this top map hook. That is the right name for it, right?
I call them map patch, but
Map patch. Okay.
Raccoons.
raccoons. And that hits. And the map patch that you hit is looking pretty bad at this point.
Alright, I will back up a little bit. Oh no.
So, I have a
Did
question.
I erase it?
Yep.
You did. You disappeared. I have a question actually about Maybell and are you bipedal?
Yes, which is really
Okay.
weird, but yes.
I was just trying to imagine a deer with like hands.
I
And
mean,
that was,
to be fair, we're playing a game where we're all animals. I wouldn't look too
understand, but
deep into
I'm not.
The
I'm
hooves
just
split
trying to
in
get
the
an image.
fingers.
We
The
all
hooves
have
in-
hands.
Yeah.
Jeez. The hooves split into fingers, but they have the black hoof tip, so when the fingers are together, it still looks like a hoof.
Because I mean, because the birds, you see, because I mean, it's like you can find art of like kenku and all that stuff. So I mean, like birds with hands is known. I just was trying to imagine a bipedal deer with hands.
Not
Yeah,
to get
no.
entirely off topic, but now all I can imagine is there was an Adventure Time episode about that where the deer stands up on its hind legs and takes off its hooves, and it's just got normal human hands underneath, and it's terrifying.
Hey, that works. That's not what I'll be thinking too. So
Oh, yep. I know exactly what you mean, and that is creepy.
So creepy.
All right, sorry, I didn't mean to derail there. I was just had that in my trying to imagine what we were seeing here.
All right, that's the end of my turn. Thank you.
You are welcome. You disappeared, so I'm trying to get you back into the turn order. Hey,
She disappeared again.
Yeah.
I did not delete her that time. That's weird.
I got a 17, so we can just.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So the one that Maybell just attacked, let me just pull in you again at least, so you have
right,
something
hold-
to move.
Can you hear me if I do this?
Yep.
Yep.
Technically, I think we should be able to pull in our own tokens too. If you just want to worry about your NPCs, we should be able to fix that stuff in between if it keeps happening.
Okay. Sounds good. So the bandit that Maybell hit is going to come around like that and fire his short bow at Maybell. 19 hits.
Sam? Can't hear you now. I can hear you in the other room.
Oh no.
All right, I'm just
Sure,
going to keep
19
it like this for a minute. It does hit. I only have an 18.
Okay.
That's still pretty
So
good for level 1.
That's 5 damage.
Cool, thank you.
And I assume that. Okay.
Well, as I'm currently not enough of a rogue to have my signature cunning actions, I will start moving up along the tree and use my action to try and hide.
You can roll a stealth roll. Really stealthy.
Yeah, that's basically it for me. I'm just going to stay hidden until the opportunity arises.
So now it's this guy. He's going to come up and pull out his short sword. Poker.
I am going to Ray of Frost this one. No, try. I'm not going to Ray of Frost it.
Yep. That's it.
Yeah.
How?
Seeing the Mapatch approach with a short sword, Taunok will just, "Oh, no, you don't!" and move up to it. Get to here, and he is going to try to lash out at it with his one free taloned hand.
That hits.
So the talons find purchase. He does 4 piercing damage. And then as a bonus action, because he is a Strig, he would like to use his Brawler ability.
Yep.
So the Mapatch needs to make its choice of athletics or acrobatics check.
Okie dokie. Yep. Yep, that definitely succeeds.
It is then also grappled.
Okay.
And because he still has 10 feet of movement, he's going to drag that map patch another 5 feet away from the group. And that's Taunok's turn.
Okay. Ne- This one down here is going to come out of the bushes and fire his short bow at Town. For 10.
That is a miss.
Okay. And then this one is also going to use his action to also dash and pull out his short sword. And this one is...
Technically it's Mabel's turn, so if you want to just
Oh,
roll
yes.
initiative again, you can change it in the turn order.
Yeah, go ahead, Mabel.
You
Oh,
rolled
you
the
got
same.
17.
I guess it was meant to be.
So
what
it was
class,
written.
What class is Maybell?
Cleric.
So we're cleric, fighter, rogue, wizard.
Yes, that is why I played a fighter, is so we could be the classic D&D party.
Is the one I'm just clicking on now the one I hit first?
Yep, that one is the one that looks extremely injured.
Then I would like to hit it again.
Yep, you hit it real good, and that one is dead.
All right, that's my turn. Thank you.
Okay, Evo, or Ivo.
Either one's fine. I won't be insulted. Okay, so I'm just going to move to the other side of the tree, still hidden. And I'm going to attempt to throw a dagger at this one.
That hits.
Would it be a disadvantage because of the range?
Oh, was it 20? I would have moved closer, so I thought of 30.
If you want, you can move closer, or you can aim for this guy.
Yeah,
Whichever one you want.
well, I'll aim for that guy instead. I forgot for a second it was 20.
Yep, that is okay. And with that, this guy is also down.
Then with the rest of my movement, I'll move to this side of the tree so I don't get shot.
And that one is gone. So Volker.
All right. I'll attempt to ray of frost that one again, and you can see Volker kind of mumbling under his breath and shoots out a blue-white light from his clawed fingertip.
And that hit. So the fur on this map patch is now singed with some ice.
Speed is reduced by 10. Not that I think it'll matter, but
Yep.
and then he'll duck back down behind the cart.
And Tana.
Well, Taunok will glance down at the one that he's holding, see that it is no longer a threat, let go, and move to the next one with a short sword. This was a bad idea.
Ooh. You very kill this one. How would you like to do it?
Oh, just like this is not even a stop. He is headed for the second one and just runs past and just draws talons across and keeps going.
I mean, to be fair, that roll was kind of perfect for the comment.
Mm-hmm. And so now he's up in the last one's face, and that's his whole turn. Just staring it down.
And this one is going to let out a kind of pitiful hiss before using his action to disengage and run down.
Yeah, you best think better of that.
And Maybell? Yep, that hits. The map patch looks pretty injured at this point.
That's it for me.
Ivo?
I'll move across. The last thing we want is the bandit to get away and signal his buddies. But I shall throw a dagger at disadvantage. Oh.
Nope, that one misses.
I mean, at least the disadvantage didn't matter.
Yep.
True.
And Volker.
Let's see. Well, probably can't. It's not a good shot through those trees, but I'm gonna try and Ray and Frost again.
Yep, that hits. And with that, this last map patch is also down. And we're out of combat. And also my bird is bleaching.
What's the plan?
Mabel will go to each body and drag it to like a pile of Mad Patch and say a prayer for them.
Well, we should probably see if they had any instructions on them. And Ivo will go across to the pile of them and start rummaging because they don't care anymore.
Taunok will go back to the cart. And, everyone all right? Eye over the various humble folk.
All right, it's kind of a shame that they attacked us.
No other injuries?
I don't believe you're the only one that got hit, correct?
Oh, good.
Could indeed slowed us down otherwise.
I guess if you feel that way.
Well, you shouldn't be too hard. It's not like everyone's expecting to be ambushed at all times. This went rather well considering.
Certainly did. Means we can get on with this.
Sure. Let me just check if they had any identifying markers, or you never know, they could have been working for someone, had some orders.
Yep, you can roll an investigation check.
Would my background as a bandit help here?
Yep, I would say get advantage.
Yay!
You know where all the hidey holes are. You find the short bows and short swords they were using, the leather on their backs.
Roll 6 without even trying. In an investigation. So I can help if you'd like me to. I can roll. I want to try.
If you want. I mean, I've got a +5. It shouldn't have been that bad.
When Volker comes in and searches one of the bodies for you, he does find a letter. It's not signed, but it does say, "Come to Meadowfen."
I will take it back over to the others and ask if anybody has any ideas about what that might mean or familiar with the place or
Yeah, Coriander will pipe in and be like, "Well, I did just get some items from there. It is a village, typical as any other. I'm not too sure why bandits would be grouping there."
As Taunok continues to visibly check over like Endo and make sure that he is all right, just adds, didn't we just go through there not that long ago?
We did. There didn't seem to be much at that point. Perhaps the letter is new. And Endo is just squeaking and giggling like, "You were so cool. Look at what you did so fast."
Of course I did. Expect anything else?
No.
Once
Not to sound
Taunok is...
cynical. Well, you guys are doing that. Not to sound too cynical, but what if they're doing an underground supply chain?
Penny would squeak in. "Supply chain? You mean from the grove to Meadowfen?"
In times of turmoil, there's always a markup for really important goods.
Coriander would say, "That I do understand."
Maybe the other way around then. Picking up in Meadowfen and bringing back to the Grove.
Well, it kind of depends on who's in charge. If it's a nice person like you think, then sure. But more cases than not with bandit groups, they're not always that altruistic.
well, do we want to pick it out or do we want to just keep going?
Coriander says, "I would rather not go all the way back to Meadowfen after traveling this far, but I do understand if all of you want to go back and check it. I can just hire more people once I get to Harvester."
We could always go after if that's a thing people want to do.
I didn't trek all the way out here just to leave the cart halfway. A job worth doing right.
I would like to finish our trip too.
If that's the case, we can transport it to the next town, then if we wish to investigate, we can just go back ourselves.
Volker kind of shrugs.
What do you think, Pipsqueak?
I think I wouldn't mind going to Harvester. I mean, it's really fun when Coriander sets up the caravan.
All right, we keep going then.
And Coriander just says, thank you for continuing to help me along. And y'all continue your way to Harvester. So going back to the main map, you keep going towards this place over there. Oop, I didn't actually move you guys. Here.
Gasp.
So yeah, you continue your journey towards Harvester, and there's no other issues that happen along the way. Harvester is like the other villages on the fringe of the grove. Soil is very fertile, the land rich with game. It specifically has become known for its farms, and as you enter the village, you do notice them, as Penny had mentioned. So fields and fields of corn, grain, plants, and other vegetables, as well as some orchard trees are growing. The inhabitants mainly seem to be humble folk, although there are some bird folk present. At the center of the village, there is a watchtower that's used to warn villagers of any oncoming enemies or ash storms that can occur in the area. And just to the south of the watchtower is a village square where Coriander pulls up her carts and starts to set up her wares along with Penny. Surrounding the square there's a small inn, general store, a small inn and general store that seem to be combined together, as well as a small blacksmith and another apothecary. And despite the closeness of the grove, the square seems to be bustling with activity. There is Gerbine children running around and the square with a ball, the smallest of the children having difficulty keeping up. Endo does watch them, though he keeps close to Taunok. There's a group of Mapatch and Hedgewomen just chattering and eyeing the caravan as Coriander and Penny set up. And the village mayor, an old servant male, just comes up to Coriander and starts chatting with her. So, what would you like to do in the town of Harvester?
Seems surprisingly well off for a relief mission. Oh well, not my decision. Taunok would see Endo, I and the other kids, and just be like, well, what are you waiting for? I've got work to do. Go, shoo.
Can I really? And he just runs.
Yeah, you should just... swear that little runt's gonna get run off a cliff one of these days. Alright, well, see if I can lend a hand down at the smithy, I suppose.
I believe, due to our recent little engagement with the bandits, I might head over to the equivalent of, say, this town's militia and inquire about recent activity in the area.
Yep.
Folk will probably just hang around by the cart and see if there's anything, like, whether he's not very strong, but assist on any like loading and unloading and anything like that that would be needed.
Oh yeah, as long as there's manual labor to do at the cart, Taunok would help with that for a bit first. But once that's settled, everything's okay, he'd go try to lend a hand where his skills are best used.
I'll look to see. I'll talk with the elder servant and see if there's anything I can help with, like tending the sick.
Yeah, so as the rest of you are helping unload the caravan or carts. The mayor, he looks at Maybell and kind of gives her a smile. He's an old servant. Although he's brown like Maybell, he does have some white fur around his face, showing his age. And he does seem to stoop from the weight of his large antlers. He's continuously shaky. You can't really tell if that's from his age or if he's nervous or what other reason that may be. And he just smiles at Maybell and says, "Hello, my name is Aldrich. It's very nice to have the caravan come to our humble village."
Hello, great Uncle Aldrich.
I wanted to know if you can help heal some people. Well, we do have some who are a little bit sick. We've quarantined them off and shouldn't be too much. I mean, it's just for safety, just in case. And he'll point towards the west side of the village and say, just near the end there, by the apothecary, there is a little hut that we've been keeping them safe in.
I'll do my best. Thank you.
And Rob, since you're back, did you want to head to the militia?
Militia guardhouse, like the equivalent of law enforcement, basically.
Yeah, so you would just go to the guard tower, which is like right in the square, and there is a strig at the top of the tower who, if you all know, looks like a burrowing owl. So he's got some brown feathers and longer legs. There is a Mapatch at the base of the tower who looks like an ermine, and she smiles as you approach and says, "Hello, welcome to Harvester. I haven't seen you around before."
Yes, hello, just arrived with the caravan. We, on our way here from Meadowan, we were attacked by a few bandits.
Oh, I'm sorry to hear that. We have heard of bandit activity increasing recently. It's very troubling.
I would believe so. Have you heard anything in particular in the region?
We have heard that at least the factions that have activity around here, they seem to be led by a Vulcan. She looks nervously at Coriander and says, "You've been working with her for a while, or?"
I've travelled to a few towns. She doesn't seem too bad.
Good. Good. I don't want to introduce any banditry to our village. We have to keep everybody safe.
Agreed. The less bandits we have around, the better everyone will feel.
Oh, definitely. It's much safer. But thanks for reporting it. I'll let the other guards know here, and we can keep a better eye out.
Oh, that's no worries. Thank you for taking the time to listen.
Just smiles and stares at you.
Yep, I'll just head off then and keep an eye on the caravan to make sure no loose hands come near.
Volker doesn't have a whole lot of, applicable skills for these types of things, so he'll probably just go out to the kids and cast minor illusion and just, make it funny images for them to hopefully enjoy.
Yep, all the children who are running around just run at Volker like, "Whoa, how did you do that? That's so cool." Endo's like, "Yeah, I've been traveling with him for so long. He's super awesome."
And I would imagine that Volker probably he's doing this because he thinks it's helpful, but he's probably really uncomfortable. Because he's not used to being around kids, so he's probably really awkward and not really sure what to do to when they're praising, "Oh, that's so neat." He's kind of like, and just kind of continuing just to make weird shapes and little animals and butterflies and things like that.
Yep, the kids will start chasing them down.
Wherever Taunok is around, you would notice him watching you rather intently as well, now Volker.
If he could blush, he probably would be, but, you know, black feathers and all.
Are the sick here like really, really sick, or do they just have like the common cold? Or
They have what appears to be respiratory illnesses, probably exacerbated by ash.
is this something a Goodberry could help fix? Or
Probably not. Probably just like rest, tender care kind of a thing. So extra liquids, things like that. And that's something that Maybell would probably be experienced with.
could I try to medicine them and give them the best advice?
Yep. Make a medicine check.
Give them some kind of expectorant, cough out all of the nastiness of them from their lungs.
Just hit him on the back real hard a few times.
Yep, Maybell would know kind of the combination of herbs that would be good for such things. Respiratory illnesses from ash is pretty common, especially around the Scorched Grove, so coriander does carry some of the herbs that would be useful.
Cool. I'll report back to Great Uncle Aldrich that it's nothing too severe that he should worry about.
Oh, good, good. Thanks for checking up on them. It's great to have a cleric like you come to a town. Yep, and with that, Coriander and Penny have finished setting up the caravan, and Coriander very dramatically climbs onto the top of her cart and is just like, "Welcome, villagers of Harvester. I am Coriander. We bring aid to any who won't desire it, whether it be through purchase or trade of goods, labor, fun through games." And she gives a smile towards the children, although with her fangs it looks kind of menacing. "Oh, there may be prizes too if you do win," and a chatter goes through the crowd. So as Coriander climbs down, she kind of steps beside the booth and smiles as some of the Mapatch women brave going up to her and start trading the farm items that they have for lumber, which can be a bit more difficult to acquire near the grove.
I think Ivor will just start walking throughout the crowd, just making sure there's no loose fingers.
I would actually like to take out I would like to go shopping for stuff to make like a large vat of soup.
Yep, you can do that. The general store is to the north of this square. It's run by a very, very large raptor who looks like a condor, so think large, dark feathers. She's intimidating, but she nods towards you if you step into her shop.
Hello, I'm looking for fragrant herbs and some good root vegetables.
Yes, I have those. And she turns around and starts pulling items from the storage boxes behind her.
Do you have any suggestions for what might make a good soup?
Farms here known for potatoes and carrots.
Oh, definitely take some of those then. Thank you.
And she pulls out an apple. Ever added fruit to soup?
No, is it good?
Very good. You all spending the night?
I believe so, yes.
Rooms upstairs. We'll give discounts since you seem to be bringing aid. Heard about your caravan.
That's Coriander's caravan. She seems very gentle despite her toothy grin.
Good to know. I didn't know what to think about Coriander coming here, but word has been said that she at least seems to be trustworthy.
She's been very sympathetic by all accounts.
Good. And she pushes the all the things you asked for across the counter. I give all for 1 gold.
Oh, thank you.
Rooms. Also, I'd say 1 gold per night for everybody. Seems since you help.
I'll do that now if I may.
Yes.
Thank you.
Rooms are upstairs, store is below. No meal offered, though.
That's okay. I plan on trying to take care of that.
Good.
And I offer a shy grin.
Her corners of her beak kind of twitch upwards.
Thank you. I'll see you in a bit.
Yep. She gives you a nod.
I return to what party I see. Walk up to Coriander and Penny, and I'll let them know I got us rooms at the shop.
Oh, most excellent. Thank you for that, Maybell.
If I look around, is there a good area to start like a campfire, a cook fire?
Yeah, you can make one right behind where Coriander set up her booth.
Oh, perfect. I would like to take up my cook's utensils and make just a huge vat of soup.
Yeah, Penny gets all excited. What are you cooking this time?
Just suggestions for soup from our local friends.
Oh, it smells very good. Already, I can't believe it.
Well, ideally there will be enough for everyone.
And give it away for free?
One more time, I'm sorry.
You're gonna give it away for free?
I think I will.
Coriander might have something to say about that later, but I would agree with you. And she gives a little chuckle.
That's okay. I can always get us more. I have a good eye. Well enough anyway to keep us fed.
Oh, well, I suppose it's time for me to play some games with the children. Coriander wants me to arm wrestle again. She
That's
gives another
true,
chuckle.
but you can sneak back and be my taste tester.
Oh, yes. And I'm gonna bring some of the kids with me. Don't tell Coriander, though. We'll do it while she's busy.
Tell them each to bring a spoon.
Yep. And Penny turns around and goes to a little crate where she sits down and is like, well, anyone who wants to try arm wrestling little old me is able to. Prizes for whoever wins. And some of the kids chuckle and go up to her, and even some of the older folk seem interested in what these prizes might be.
I just imagine Volker's also against continuing to be like the clown, because like he'll be like casting dancing lights, making them orbs, and then act like he's juggling them, and then also like he can like because you can make him look like a human form. So basically, just like doing goofy stuff with dancing lights and minor illusion and stuff, and basically just being the court jester. Because he literally has nothing else to do. He's not strong. He can't cook. He does. Yeah.
Yep.
So he'll
Oh,
be the
it
jester.
works out. It's making them all very happy.
once everything's settled down a little bit, Taunok will make his way to the local smithy and just walk right in and just, hey, here with the caravan. You folks need any help in here?
Yeah, and the smithy in the store is older Gallus, so he looks like a rooster. He just gives him a big grin and walks over, grabs his, or attempts to grab his hand to shake it.
I'll allow it.
Yep. Grabs his hand, gives it a couple hearty swings, and is like, hello, hello, my name is Frederick. Nice to meet you.
Taunok.
Good to have another smithy round. Seems like you're a smithy, huh?
Yep, that'd be the case. Here, you folks are in need of some aid, so figure I can spend my time at the very least. Better than sitting around watching the show outside again.
Oh, it does make the kids seem to be pretty happy, though. I do have some way you can help us.
I brought my tools. If you have space, I can certainly lend a bit of physical aid.
How do you feel about helping build a home?
Sounds about right. Just
Correct.
point me in the right direction.
Yep. And Frederick will leave the store and kind of go in a U-turn to go into one of the alleys, and he points a bit north. He says, at the very north of the village, had some encounter with a bandit long time ago, and haven't had the chance to build up the house yet. If I can get help with that, that would be great.
Not sure how much my metalworking is going to help with that, but I'm certainly willing to go give it a shot.
Well, as long as you're good with hammer.
Suppose that's fair. All right. Thanks for the direction.
No problem. And he kind of slaps his back.
That, it does get a little bit of a glower, but not a verbal response, and Taunok will just head off to where he was told to go.
If you need any material, just come on back.
Yeah. But yeah, so headed off to this mystery building.
Yay. Yep, and it's just a torn down house. There's lots of lumber around and barrels of what seem to be dirt that was used to help keep the lumber together, as at the very least it seems like an attempt was made at trying to get started on this house.
I mean, whatever's there, Taunok will just kind of pick up on and do his best to start, though carpentry is certainly not his strongest suit.
Yeah, let's what would carpentry be rolled as?
I think carpenter's tools.
Is that, well, if you're not proficient in that, you can just roll like a dex, I guess, or strength.
Either of those is good, whichever you'd prefer.
Yep, do whichever one you want. Yep, you're working pretty good on this house despite not being too experienced with it. There has been previous requests to help build homes in the other villages you've been to, so at this point you have some experience.
Awesome. Less disturbed in any way. Taunok's just going to keep working on that, make trips back for supplies. That's about it. Check in on the little ones when he is back picking up supplies each time.
Yep, and this activity continues as it starts to get dark, and at some point, Coriander just says, well, I suppose it's time to pack up. Thank you, everyone, for being so kind in allowing me into your village, or us into your village. It's time for us to pack up now, though we will be selling a couple of wares before we leave tomorrow morning. And the villagers just keep chattering, and the prizes that Coriander gave were just free items from her cart, so nothing too special. And Frederick, the smithy, comes towards where Kaunok was building the house and kind of whistles at the progress you've made.
Yeah, it's not a bad start.
No, it's more of a start than we have made in probably 2-3 weeks now.
Well, looks like getting dark. Coriander will probably be wrapping up here soon. Probably should go back. If you need anything else, we'll probably be around at least till tomorrow.
Thank you so much. Your help is so appreciated with this. And he gives you 5 gold for helping.
Oh, well, right. Yeah. Thanks.
No, of course, pleasure is all mine. Very helpful.
Right. Well, I'll be seeing you. And Kaunok will just take off out of that interaction.
Yep, and the moment Endo sees Taunok, he'll run over and be like, I played all these games with the kids and Volker was doing this, and he's just chattering.
Yep, sure he was. Look, you get anything to eat yet, kid?
Got soup!
Good, you can show me where it is.
Maybell made the yummiest soup. It had apples in it this time.
How long ago did you eat that?
Very long time ago. Like... a very long time ago.
Well, you're not dead yet. It's probably safe. Come on, show me where it is.
Yeah. And he will run through the dispersing crowd up to where Maybell is.
Endo, did you get enough to eat? Oh, Mr. Townick. Hello, are you hungry?
Yeah, sure. Kid says it came out good.
Came out really good.
Thank you, Endo. Here, I hope it's to your liking.
Appreciate it. Kaunok will just take his bowl and move away and sit down and keep talking with Endo as long as Endo is initiating that conversation.
Oh, yep, he's initiating it.
This goes on for several hours.
If any of the party happen to swing by Maybell, I should make sure they get a bowl of soup.
Won't turn down the bowl of soup.
Yeah, Volker probably gets some.
No, we have rooms tonight at above the shop.
Oh, thank you.
They won't do meals for us, so I'll make sure to get up early and make something good in the morning.
Oh, looking forward to it.
And Aldrich would come back to Coriander and thank you again for coming and doing this. I know we're not as worn down as some of the other villages, but I'm sure the villagers are quite happy. And Coriander replies with, "No, it's no problem. You are on the way. I suppose we're going to Ashbarrow next, potentially, or back to Meadowfen, depending on what the others want to do." And Aldrich just nods and says, well, Marie mentioned Marie, our town guard, she mentioned you ran into bandits on the way here. And he kind of looks from Coriander to the rest of the group.
Yes, Uncle.
It's kind of frightening to have them so close to the village, but I suppose with the increase in activity, it just makes sense. You didn't happen to run into any creatures of the flame, did you?
Not so far, thank our stars.
Good, good. I have heard rumors that activity related to that has also been increasing. We have seen some smoke coming from the Scorched Grove. It's far now, so shouldn't cause any trouble, but we've always got guards in the tower.
Uncle, there's still some soup left if you'd like to sit and exchange stories with us.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, I wouldn't mind, I guess. And he will kind of walk over and sit in one of the, like a crate that Penny provides him. What stories of your adventures? Anything interesting?
I can just share fond memories of the grove before it was scorched.
Yep, and Aldrich will kind of smile at that and, oh yes, I remember things. Many, many years now. I have heard of an interesting story. Nothing to do with the grove, just rumors I've heard from travelers.
Jazz?
Well, it seems that there is a ghostly demonic servant that seems to live north of Salter's Point. Just seems to appear, lead people through the forest there, and then disappear. Quite mysterious. Never heard of such things in servant lore.
So, is it a good ghost?
I don't know. The people who told me the story seemed to think that it was, at the very least, helping lost souls. Though whether it was lead them to safety or lead them to not, that's one thing the stories are not telling us.
Well, if we ever go down that way, we should be able to have a look for ourselves.
Or not that? Because ghosts.
Oh, so you believe in ghosts now, do you, Volker?
I believe I don't want to find out if they're real.
I'm sure his Lord Kareth has great plans for this flame ghost.
Oh, I do hope so, and he smiles at Volker. Ghosts do seem to be real. There are also tales of flames that appear to be formed, similar to those who have perished in the flames, walking amongst the grove.
And you can see Volker's got his arms crossed. He's just shaking his head and like, nope, nope, nope. Not interested.
Be lucky you haven't seen such things. Apparently, they are kind of depressing to witness.
Taunok visibly shudders at the ideas of the ghosts, but then quickly looks around and puffs up a little and goes back to his soup.
Volker is making no attempts to hide his. Nope, out. Not interested. Don't want to find out.
Poor souls.
Maybell, if the ghosts appeared, would you have any way to send them on their way?
I have to think on that.
He just kind of nods, like, yeah, okay, yeah. A little bit assured that, maybe you didn't say no, so he's a little more reassured.
Well, there are holy warding spells, and we could make holy water. We could also try to take care of any unfinished business they may have. Or I'm sure Lord Kareth would give some sort of message to ease the injured souls and send them back to where they belong in the light.
And as Maybell finishes that, Volker, you kind of faintly hear something stirring behind you.
It's the spoon sliding in my big old pot of soup.
He'll just kind of freeze and not move, just looking straight ahead.
And all of a sudden, you'll hear the sound of a wisp of a fire behind you.
He would probably jump up a little bit and kind of turn around and
Yeah,
see what he sees.
it's just Ivo.
He wouldn't say anything. He would just kind of sigh a little bit and sit back down.
You have to be careful, Volker. The sneaking fires will get you.
Sort of just
Oh,
like
don't
does a little
tease him
mocking
like
sort of
that.
like.
Mabel will get up and go over to Volker and gently pat him on the head and take him in a soft embrace and be like, "It's okay, dear. There's nothing here. No ghosts to hurt you."
He'll allow it.
And with a chuckle, Aldrich will kind of get unsteadily up to his feet and say, "Well, I suppose it's time for me to head on to bed. It seems like, from what you've said, you have rooms in the Sapphire Guest House. Saphira is cold, but welcoming to you, I think."
With a soft chuckle, she is a little difficult to get a read on, but I do believe she has a sincere soul.
He's not the only one who needs to get to bed.
"Oh no, I'm fine," Endo says.
Listen, Pipsqueak, do not make me pick you up and carry you up there.
"Nope, but I can fly up there." And he kind of just runs, his leaf wings doing something.
Endo, if you go to bed early, you can wake up early and taste test breakfast.
Okay, I'm going to bed.
Yeah, you better be.
Which one's our room, though?
Ask Saphira, she'll give you the key.
Okay. And he runs into the Sapphire guest house.
Well, I suppose we should all get some sleep. Good night.
Before bed, I would like to cast Goodberry.
Yep. Yep. And Penny would just say goodnight to everybody before heading to her room. And Coriander, it remains with the caravan, kind of finishing cleaning up.
That sounds fine. Make sure the little runt doesn't trash the place.
He's definitely a handful.
Oh, but he is a good kid. You are quite fond.
Just not worth the trouble to eat him. Bony little thing, I bet.
You probably are too under all that fluff.
Chaunok just ruffles his feathers a little bit, goes in after Endo.
Mabel will do a once over to make sure everyone but Coriander's made it in, and satisfied with that, she'll go to bed.
It seems like everybody's headed to bed.
Yep, Volker would just make sure that his donkey has some food and then goes to bed.
Oh.
If there's any place, I guess the Sapphire Guest House is also the place that's like the general shop, right?
Yeah.
Taunok would probably buy a little bit of just kind of whatever is at hand, just enough that he can break one of those gold coins he got into smaller currencies.
Yep. You can definitely do that.
Cool. And then, yeah, other than that, heading to bed.
Yep. And most of the night seems to go without issue. It goes dark, the village goes quiet. But in the middle of the night, Maybell, you suddenly dream of a vision. There seems to be smoke and fire enveloping your senses. In this dream, do you do anything?
I get on my belly so I stop suffocating in the smoke.
Yep, you do that, and above you there is thick ash and smoke. And then you hear a voice whispering, "It's coming. Be careful."
What's coming? I look up and I strain my eyes to scan around me. Is there anything identifiable?
Yep, you see. Actually, make a perception check. Yeah, you see in the distance, in shadow, there is a figure that you can't really make the details of. Above the figure, A moon seems to shine through the ash, but it's blood red. It's coming.
Sorry, I'm also taking notes on this.
And the figure just says, "You need to run," before you feel a force, and you seem to startle awake.
Oh no. Where do I run to?
And make one more perception check. You hear throughout the village there seems to be a growing scream as they start to, and the smell of smoke and ash seems to increase and increase.
Oh no. Wake up! Wake up! Everybody! No, wake up! Grab your gear! There's a fire!
Do we hear
I
her?
assume we're all in different rooms, yes?
Yeah.
Yep.
Oh yeah, I'm like running out. I'm barging into people's rooms if they didn't lock it. I'm banging on the door if they did. I am not being quiet.
And Endo will be like, Tauna, what's going on?
Mm, mm. Come on. No, come on, get up. Coming with me, kiddo. And Tanak would lead him out to the hall, and with the talk about fires and such, start getting him outside. Come on.
Yep. And Penny would have been awakened and run after the pair of you as well.
Yeah, Iva would have got up and started to at least look out the window first before leaving.
Yep, from the window you can see that there is definitely ash billowing through the air.
It's too far south for that. Then he'll head out.
And as Ivo heads out, finally there is banging on the bells in the guard tower. As the Ermine that Ivo talked to starts screaming, "Fire! There's fire to the north!"
I make sure to try to find and bang on Safria's door too.
Yeah, and Saphira would kind of open the door and say, "This isn't good."
I hate to say it, but you have to evacuate.
"Don't want to leave my shop. We'll get some water." And she hurries off to see if she can find some water. And as you all start leaving the inn, you do see to the north of the town there is thick smoke obscuring the sky and flames bursting through the windows as both bird and humble folk start flooding the streets in their panic. Some of the villagers are attempting to pour water from any source they can find on the fires, and others are helping gather the elderly and younger ones as they're leading them to the evacuation. From nearby, you can hear a woman that's screaming for help.
I run to the woman if I can find her.
Yep, you can find her pretty easily. She is just in one of the homes that's right near the guest house. And she's a Gerbine woman. Another Gerbine is kind of holding her back as she screams, "My child is upstairs! I have to go back!" And the other one saying, "No, it's too dangerous."
You two evacuate. I'll do what I can, and I'll run upstairs.
Make a Constitution check to see how you do with the ash and the.
Sorry.
Or
a saving throw?
Constitution saving throw. Yep, you're doing pretty good with the smoke that's in there. And you,
Child, yell! Where are you?
you hear screams coming from upstairs. I'm over here!
I'm
And
coming.
coughing.
Keep yelling.
You just hear coughing.
Stay low.
And as you run upstairs, a piece of the bark or piece of the wood from the ceiling kind of tumbles down and breaks the floor where you were going to walk.
I would like to use my nimble deer. Give me a minute. I gotta find out what it's specifically called. But my supernatural deer jump.
I believe it's called Jump Good.
You may not be wrong. My standing leap.
Your jump good.
Jump very good. You jump to child.
I
And you
scoop up the child leave as quickly as I can.
Anybody else doing anything?
I mean, once outside with all the panic, Shaunok is scooping up Endo to make sure he doesn't get trampled, and just looking around for Coriander first.
Yep, make a perception check. Yep, that's good enough. You'll kind of have to twist around the watchtower, but you see in the village square she's kind of whacking at the caravan that's now set up in flames with her shawl that she wears.
Gosh. Ivo, Volker, someone!
Volker would probably be trying, maybe in vain, to ray of frost any flames he may see. Just make them cold, possibly smother it. He doesn't know. He's just trying anything.
Yeah. So his attempts are kind of work at first, but do seem futile in the long run as flames continuously replace the ones that he's smothered. The winds don't seem to be good for stopping the flame.
I think Ivo probably would have gone in the direction of the flames to try and see what started it.
Yep, so Ivo would be running towards
The north, I believe.
the north of the village and just kind of getting knocked here and there by all the villagers that are running to escape. There are a couple trying to save their homes and belongings, but nothing that they do is working, and so their mothers are grabbing children, husbands are grabbing their wives as they're trying to make an escape further south. And you can make an investigation check.
Fingers crossed, better than a 7.
15. So as you're going further and further north, it does become a bit harder to breathe. You see further north up in the air, there seems to be a group of fire bats that seem to be just going around in circles, although you don't know if they started the fire or if they were attracted by it.
Once the child is rescued, I too would like to try to find the starting point of the fire. I have to see if there's a figure like in my dreams.
Yep, so you can hand off the Gerbine child to her mother, who decided to stay despite you telling her to run. And she says, "Thank you so much," before running off.
if that group family is at all visible, Tanak's gonna take Endo after a second and be like, "Go with them. Stick with them.
What
Got
about
shrimp?
you?
I'll be right there."
Okay, but stay safe. And he'll
Oh.
run to them.
And as soon as he is away and looking like he's gonna make it, Taunok's gonna head for that cart that Coriander's at and do his best to help put it out and move it away from the fire.
Yeah, you can do...
I think he'd prioritize away from the fire first so that it's easier to put out, and so there's not as much risk of being overtaken.
Yeah, make a strength or athletics check. Very good. So you start pulling the caravan or the cart away from the flames.
You owe me for this, lady. It's hot.
Oh, I greatly thank you. Can't lose my wares now, not like this.
Don't just stand there. Keep moving. Keep patting.
Yep, she does that as she's kind of looking around, seeing if she can find any extra water. And is Volker doing anything?
As he sees Coriander and her, like, he'll probably try to go over there and help because he's not strong, but he'll try and help.
Yep, throw some frost at it.
Yep.
And for a second, let's go back to Maybell and Ivo. So you see that the bats don't seem to be coming any closer. But Maybell, if you want to make a perception check to search for a figure, you can. Yeah, so far, far in the distance, you do see a very, very tall figure that's in the scorched grove. It doesn't seem to be coming any closer yet, but its body does seem to be made of flames.
Does it have a discernible shape of a particular species?
Nope.
Does
You
it have-
see no horns. What you can see, it essentially looks like a person. So think tall head, long arms.
Is there a blood moon?
You don't know if it's actually a blood moon, but the ash in the air is staining the moon red.
Oh, Lord Gareth, it came true.
And both Ivo and Maybell make Constitution saving throws as you spend more time in the smoke. Both of you, as you go into coughing fits and you feel your lungs filled with the smoke, take 1 damage each. And Maybell, you had a long rest of it.
Oh, I did get the long rest?
Yeah.
Yeah, if it's getting bad and I can only see the fire bats, I'll start trying to drag Maybell away. There's nothing we can do here. We need to move south.
No, he's there. The figure in the blood moon. Oh gods. Oh Lord Gareth, no.
Well, he's going to attempt to move you whether you like it or not, so it's up to you whether you resist.
I won't resist. Once he starts pulling, I'll turn around and start running too.
And
I was just about to say, once we get closer to the centre of the town, I'll shout to the guards and anyone who's listening that is fire bats to the north.
Yeah, the other guard that was at the top of the tower when you went and spoke with Marie, uh, he nods at you and says, "We'll keep an eye out. Try to get water on the houses if you can. If not, get everybody to safety."
Ivor will nod and start probably like dashing between the houses to see who's there, who he can get out, who's fallen, that type of stuff.
Yeah,
I'll
one of
continue my own
the
rescue mission. Yeah.
yeah. So you do see that there's a Mapatch woman who looks like a badger. She's had tripped at some point and is now trying to gather all the things that she had back into a cloth.
I'll run across, quickly scoop it up and start leading her away.
Oh, thank you. Didn't want to lose any of that.
Well, we'd rather get you away than the items.
And I guess back to Taunok and Volker and Coriander.
How's our cart looking?
Uh, I'd say that it's singed and still partially aflame.
Also partially wet from melting ice.
Yes. Yep, the parts that are wet don't seem to be burning anymore.
Volker, can't you deal with that fire?
He just sort of looks ridiculously panicked. He's like, I'm doing all that I can. It's not working.
And you see some of the flames have leapt from the housetops around the square onto the watchtower, and the ermine at the top panics as she starts to run down.
As soon as that tower is starting to catch, that's Thanos just look it up and down, just oh no. No, 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 no. Nope, nope, we're out of here. And he's just gonna do his absolute damnedest to drag that cart to safety with the stuff and just hope that Coriander and Volker follow.
Yeah, make another strength check.
I will assist with my -1 strength.
Yep, perfect. You do get the cart further and further away from the village square as Coriander whacks at the cart, and with a couple more whacks, she does get all the flames.
And as we're going, he's keeping an eye out for people, especially that little bunch of gerbeans, to make sure they haven't fallen back.
Yeah,
like
have
to
we
think
officially
I
made
think-
it closer to the square?
Yeah, so both Ivo and Maybell have made it closer to the square. So you do see that the watchtower is lit aflame at this point.
Maybell, you head towards the others, see if anyone's injured. I'm going to continue to dart through the alleys to see who I can find.
Okay, I'm gonna try to meet up with the cart real quick and make sure that they're all right, and then I'll come back to the square and you meet up with me, okay?
Okay. And I will start darting off between the alleys looking for people.
Yep. Ivo, the first person you encounter is Saphira as she's throwing water at her guest house in vain.
Sophia, it's time to go.
But but my home, my items.
You can always rebuild if you're still alive.
She clacks her beak together and sighs. Okay. Okay, fine. Fine.
Go to the town square and head south.
She throws the bucket she was using down angrily and just runs off.
And I'll continue looking for people.
Yep. As you keep going, you do notice that unfortunately some of the villagers didn't make it. You see their singed bodies as they are laying in the alleyways, some partially coming out of their houses that just couldn't make it through the smoke. And you just need to make another Constitution saving throw as the smoke gets worse where you. Yep, you are good. You're able to stave off the cough. And back to everybody else.
Mabel searches through the square and finally spots the caravan and thinks really, really hard as she approaches and casts Create Water.
You douse the caravan in the water, and any existing flames that were remaining definitely go out at this point. Even the shawl that Coriander was using to beat the flames.
I'm terribly sorry about the water damage, but you have to go.
Yes, we're going.
About time someone put that out.
Flames are unnatural. They don't seem to be going out that easy, unfortunately.
Gore looks
Something's
dejected.
not right.
You hear a large crack behind you as the watchtower shudders.
Where's Ivo and Penny?
I was going down the back alley to try to get stragglers, people who may have been caught in the flames. You haven't seen Penny?
Not I.
Coriander, for the first time that you have met her, seems to suddenly get a panicked look in her eyes. No one's seen her.
I take off back to the closest alley I think we'll meet up with Ivo, shouting for Penny.
As long as the cart is clear, Tanak's going to abandon it at the moment and be like, you two get that out of here! Take a deep, steadying breath and start heading back towards our inn.
Yeah, you'll see Saphira running past you.
Tanak would grab her arm on the way back just to stop her. Be like, you seen the hedge that came with us?
No, I was trying to put out the flames, but they
As soon
wouldn't.
as she says no, Tanak is just like half pushing her along her way and keeping heading towards that inn. And
Let's continue.
yeah, just if he gets there and it's in any sort of a reasonably, like, structurally sound condition still, he's going in, he's going up, he's checking doors.
Yep, make a Constitution saving throw. You're good. You have to very carefully navigate the halls as the guest house is now engulfed in flames.
Yeah, that is just going to be like going to the doors that he is fairly certain is where she was staying and just checking that room. Is there someone in there?
Nope.
Good. Check a couple more just to make sure he's not, got the rooms wrong. And then as long as he doesn't find anyone, bailing back out and headed back towards the cart.
Yep, and as you're leaving that area, you hear another crack from the watchtower.
This is what I kept telling him. Fires in high places don't mix. But yeah, he's just gonna book it back to the cart.
Yep, and as you head past the watchtower, you see the Ermine finally get out of the tower and it's just running. She's too scared to even go back and help anybody.
Mm-hmm.
And what's Ivo up to?
Well, he would still be continuing through the houses and the alleys while working his way south.
You'll just see the devastation get worse and worse and worse as the flames keep moving.
But yeah, it's primarily just keeping an eye out, but at this stage, probably not going to find much more.
Yeah, unfortunately, despite Maybell's screams, you don't hear Penny at all.
And Taunok would probably be shouting for Ivo and Penny both as well.
I'll go back to the town square and just keep shouting for her.
And with final loud crack, the watchtower falls northward, crushing all the homes that were devastated by the flames. And finally, even the village square doesn't seem to be safe to be in, as all the ash and smoke and splintering wood seems to jump from where the watchtower has fallen.
I hold out for Ivo before I leave.
Oh, Ivo wouldn't come back to the town centre if he saw the tower fall down. He'd be specifically going through the side streets.
Alright, so I'll hold out till the very last minute before I end up taking off, because I told him I'd meet him back at the town square.
Taunok's keeping an eye out for familiar faces as he goes, at the very least, as well as anyone like clearly in distress that is a straggler. But if he once he makes it back to that cart with Volker and Coriander, it's load up and go.
Yeah, so at this point, neither Ivo nor Tanak nor Maybell see any others who are left behind who have survived the flames, so the village seems to be at least partially evacuated.
We pull out who we can while we retreat, and we make it back to the caravan.
Yeah, Ivo will just head to the south of town.
Yeah, and at this point, the caravan, I guess, I'll just say that Volker's donkey was hitched up to the cart and is pulling along as the cart
I
makes
forgot
it.
about Montgomery.
Don't worry, Montgomery won't die. The cart's
He's gonna wait
now.
until you get naturally attached to your donkey, and then she'll kill him.
Yeah, like a good DM.
Yay!
Exactly. I already forgot about him, so it wouldn't have been a good time to kill him yet.
Coriander looks worriedly back at the town and then forward again as the cart with Volker and her have now left the village.
Well, and here I thought this was going to be a nice, happy campaign with animals.
Animals and fire.
Yeah, now it's all sad.
I mean, a solid 20% of that map is just the scorched grove.
This is true. This is true.
Right, maybe she's with the survivors. Okay. Oh God, where's Endo? We didn't lose Endo too, did we? Oh,
He went with some of the other Jerbeans, I sent him with him. He should be fine. We gotta find him now.
Okay. Oh,
And I assume at this point the group meets up together, and you see just the whole group of bird and humble folk who are now been displaced, and they're kind of muttering and crying and starting to, as a group, move east, southeast, kind of towards Meadowfen.
Endo! Endo!
Endo, Penny.
Endo, where are you little brat?
You don't hear anyone calling back. A couple of the humble folk kind of look back at you and give you a pity look before they huddle together and keep walking.
No. Townok will take off ahead of the group, like cart be down, and just start looking for Jerbeans. Any of them that he can get eyes on.
Yep. He will go through the crowds. He does see a couple of Jerbeans here and there. They seem to be, um, one of them is a family with the father, mother, and a young child.
The same one that was he saw earlier, that he sent him with?
Nope.
No. It would be like a frantic go over to them. You seen another little one like that?
Another Jerbeen child? You're looking for a Jerbeen child?
Yes.
Oh, well, I'm not too sure. I mean, it's kind of. And the husband kind of puts an arm around the wife and is like, we haven't seen any others. Not yet, anyway.
Townok's turning around. He's going back to that fucking town.
Yep, first make a Constitution saving throw and then a Perception check.
Go with him.
Yeah, I'll cover myself in water, then head in with him.
The one who goes in can make a con save and then a Perception check. Volker take 2 damage. Oh, sorry, Ivo takes 2 damage.
Oh, Volker would too, because I rolled a 7.
Oh, yeah.
Perception.
Yep, anyone below a 12.
I'm almost dead.
So with those perception rolls, you do see a group of a badger Mapat with the Strig guards running down the streets towards you.
I mean, Townok's running right up to him. You seen a little Jerbeen family going around through here still? Should be 4 or 5 of them, I think.
No, I think all of the villagers seem to have escaped at least. The Mapatch badger nods and is like, we haven't seen anybody. We stayed behind to make sure everybody left. Probably amongst the crowd at this point. It's a bit hard to tell who's who in this smoke, though. And the Strig guard kind of looks at the group and is like, you all came with that Vulpin, didn't you? Everything was fine until she came.
Sam, you are super muted. I've heard you talk like 3 times.
Coriander's not the cause of this. I swear it to you.
Seems like she might be. Village was fine. Suddenly she comes. Village
It
not
was
fine.
either the fire bats or that figure in the smoke.
Listen, we don't have time for this right now. And Townhawk will just take back off and resume his search for as long as he can manage, which is a long time, even if he fails a bunch of saves.
Yeah, so does he remain in the village or does he run back to the group?
I'll help him look.
Since the village is where the actual like danger is, he's going to stay in the village as long as he can manage. Which is just searching for people still to just be on the safe side.
Yeah, the Strig soldier would kind of shake his head and keep going south and says, well, I guess if you find anybody else, get them out. Didn't see anybody though. And he hops and he leaves with the badger. And you can make him...
named Endo. Tell him to stay put.
Yep. Tell him. And as you keep running, whoever is still running in the village can make a con saving throw.
No, I would have had Ivo leave the village and maybe start looking along the most likely path.
That would and Volker would go with Ivo.
Yeah, so Maybell and Taunok, you don't see anybody else at this point. You don't take any damage either. Ivo and Volker make a perception check. Ivo doesn't see anybody, but Volker, you do see a group of Gerbine, 4 or 5, like Taunok was looking for.
We'll point it out to Ivo and head over.
Endo?
Ivo, there you are. I was looking for you, but they wouldn't let me leave the group.
Endo, stay with Volker. I'll get the others.
Where did Taunok go, though?
He'll be back in a second, and Ivo will start dashing off into the village to look for the other 2.
I mean, Townhawk is being very loud, so he should not be too hard to find.
Yeah. You do see more bats circling the town at this point.
Endo! Penny!
Endo!
Endo! Penny! Get back here!
Yeah, as soon as I see either of them, I'll just shout and signal them to follow.
Yeah, I've been traveling with Ivo long enough at this point, I would assume, that if there's a signal to go, Townhawk assumes he has found something. And it's better than just searching around blindly.
Yeah, I'll follow after.
Once we're outside of the smoke and talking, it's relatively easy. We couldn't.
Volker would have dancing lights up so you guys like know where to run back to.
Yeah.
Nice.
We couldn't find Penny, but we found Endo. Follow me.
Townhawk will follow.
And I'll start
Oh, thank Kareth.
running off in that direction again.
Yeah.
Yeah, once Endo sees Taunok, he will slip through the arms or hands of the Gerbine that was taking care of him and just yell, Taunok, there you are! and he runs and just jumps at you.
Oh yeah, Townok like full on just like runs, grabs, like holds him there for a minute, holds him away, just like, where you been?
They just kept making me walk that way and stay with them, but I want to search for you.
I was calling for you all over the place. Those ears of yours work, and he'll reach up and like pinch him a little bit with his talons and.
No, don't do that.
Just walk past Todd, give him just a soft slap on the back of the head. They did the right thing. Let's keep moving.
Right. All right, come on, short staff.
We gotta get back to Coriander, right? And Penny.
Yeah. Coriander's with the card at the very least. We'll get back, we'll find her, we'll figure out what we're doing from there.
Okay. And yeah, Coriander would have been relatively easy to find because she's kind of near the back of the group at this point, letting Montgomery lead the cart along as she has a hand on his rump.
Townok will not let go of Endo until he is at the cart, at which point he will set him firmly on the cart and just look at Coriander and be like, keep an eye on him.
Will do. Endo kind of lets out a squeak. But the cart's wet.
Mm-hmm. It is.
Well, better wet than crispy.
It was on fire, little one. We had to put it out.
Oh. You know? And she kind of looks back and at all the flames and is like, I don't like that.
Buzz here.
You and me both, kid.
Just to confirm, that was Ash Barrow, correct?
Nope, that was Harvester.
Oh, what was that? Just a bit south of it?
Yeah, Harvester is a town that I made up right there.
I know was worried about finding Penny, but I'm also concerned about Ash Barrow. It's so close to this happening. But for now we should continue to keep an eye out and move.
It seems the villagers are all moving towards Meadowfin, although I'm not sure how the village will be able to take in all these refugees.
Oh,
Well, they'll just have to figure it out.
Mabel will start sorting through the crowd, trying to find Penny, while also trying to help any obviously injured humble folk.
Yep, and you do see a couple of injured, kind of burns, some of them coughing. And make a perception check. You don't seem to find Penny.
yeah. Either will just take out a purple gem from his possession and just keep squeezing it in his hand and looking around and looking back at the town.
It's not much, but I'll hand out the 10 good berries I summoned before I went to sleep to the most grievously injured.
Yep, any who you give it to are kind of just so grateful. They're like, thank you so much.
I'll use my second spell slot to do 10 more good berries and do the same thing.
Yep, a couple of the folks start crowding you. Please, can we have one too?
I only have 20 for now. Let's see. This is all I can do for now. Once we get a moment to pause. I'll try to make dinner enough for people. Breakfast. Oh goodness, it'd be breakfast.
Maybell?
Yes.
Hey, you can use this to ration out. And I'll hand over my rations kit.
And take this.
It might not be tasty, but I'm alright for now.
Oh, bless your heart. Cool. Yeah, so I'll head back to the cart and I'll get working using my newly acquired rations and all the rations I have to make as much food as physically possible to serve the horde that now slowly trudges towards safety.
The cart's still crispy enough to count as a heat source, right?
Oh,
Yeah, it just means the food's gonna have a nice wood smoke.
Just like us.
Yay.
Cooked chicken in here.
Do I get the faint scent of hickory and dead family?
Yes. Smells like the rations would be mighty tasty.
Chicken and venison? That's a pretty good meal.
Yup.
oof.
But yeah, if everyone is now looking at meals, Ivo will probably just start walking along the outskirts of the larger group just to keep an eye out now.
Tanak will at least keep an eye out for Penny amongst the group, although he's a lot more confident in her ability to escape safely than he was in Endo's.
That's very fair.
And Volker will also be keeping an eye out for any more potential danger. A keen eye for such things.
And as the group marches towards Meadowfen, there doesn't seem to be any more danger, even as the group, they all rest. And in the morning, still behind you, you can see smoke coming from Harvester. And as you come closer and closer towards Meadowfen, even from Ashborough, there is some smoke. Although at this point, there is no flames that could be seen. So this is the next morning.
Any
Unless you all
other
want.
any other visible sources of smoke from the Scorched Grove's direction?
Yeah, you do see some like here. So it seems like this general area was affected.
I'm with you, Ivo. I'm not liking the general odds on ash barrows right now.
Well, I'd like to visit my home, but right now I've got more important things to do.
Ivo, could you please confirm something for me?
Sure, why not?
Did you also see that figure in the fire?
I don't believe so, but that would be a DM call. Do I recall seeing a figure in the fire?
Oh, you can I'll let you make a retroactive perception check.
No.
Nope.
No, I didn't see a figure in the fire. All I saw was the fire bats in the sky. I was more concerned with trying to get as many people out as possible, unfortunately.
Lord Karras sent me a dream. That's how I knew to wake up and get you all up.
It seems like things would have been a lot worse if you all got to my cart later.
Agreed.
I mean, it seemed to have calmed down from the grove. We had a bit of respite, but to suddenly
That fire
flare
was-
up like this.
It wasn't natural.
The scorched grove itself isn't natural, although having flames like this suddenly happen, it's very concerning.
I mean, is there someone we can talk to, report to about what's happened? Because I don't think there's anything that we can do.
Perhaps you may wish to speak to the Elder of Meadowfen. He might be able to get you a audience with the Elder Heart.
Well, it's a plan better than nothing. Because as it stands, the aid mission you're trying to do is basically just going to be in Meadowfen. Oh, yeah, Meadowfen.
Yes, at this point, I am gonna just remain in Meadowfen. And she kind of looks at her cart and pats it sadly and is like, I will pay you what I owe. And then I suggest you speak to the Elder, as I said. Might do some good. I will remain in Meadowfen and hope that Penny returns there.
I think that's a good idea. She's a tough old hedge. She'll show up.
I agree. And if you're going to be staying in Meadowfen, I would prepare for the likelihood of more refugees from Ashbarrow.
She'll look towards the northwest and say, it seems likely considering that smoke. At the very least, it seems like some of the farms are possible. Some people from Meadowfen can go and collect harvest sooner than expected.
Well, I suppose I better get to serving breakfast if y'all want your fill now.
I'm okay for now. I'll try and look ahead, keep an eye out for anything on the road. The last thing we need right now are bandits turning up when we've got a large group of children.
Hopefully the bandits are scared off at this point.
You'd be surprised at how desperate bandits can be, and when they can smell an opportunity.
He lets out a really low snarl.
And Ivo will just start jogging on forward to just keep an eye out.
And as the group heads towards Meadowfen, I'd say we can call it a night here.